Hello, traders and investors. Steve Ganz here, and welcome to the weekend update for the weekend of November 1st. So let's take a look at our markets, see what was tossed at us here this last week. So the SPX chopped around a little bit in our markets. We started off with a decent up move here and then just chopped sideways a little bit. It was a big news week. We had some Fed announcement that came out that impacted the markets a little bit. And then we also had some major earnings announcements from Google, from Microsoft. There was a number of others out there as well. Probably one of the biggest news weeks out there, with the exception, of course, political news, which sometimes happens and you can't put that on any schedule. So we see a few different things. We see a little bit of a sell-off, then a little bit of a chopping sideways. Also see that the volume was up on those down days. Now that can give a little bit of an indication of some weakness starting to come in. Now, weakness here, though, I think is going to be relative. I think weakness, if we pull back, I think we're maybe only pulling back to around that range or so. I don't see anything, barring, of course, very unforeseen news. I don't see anything that's going to drive us down and out of this channel. So I would fully expect that our channel is going to stay intact, that we are going to remain, I'll say, largely neutral to bullish. So I think the uptrend is intact looking at SPX. Taking a look at SPY, of course, it's going to look exactly the same. We're seeing the same things here on the volume in SPY. Those down days did bring a little bit higher volume, which again, minor concern. S&P 500, same thing there. Let's look at volatility. So we did start to see a little bit of an uptick in volatility here on Friday, but not much. Nothing that sends off any flares here, gives me any pause to the bullish nature of the market currently. Taking a look at the Qs. Very similar story with the Qs. The Qs, of course, we rallied with everything else and then started chopping sideways slightly on the news that's out there, and then started chopping sideways a little bit on the various earnings reports. Now, Google's earnings were received extremely well. Microsoft was neutral. Meta was received somewhat poorly, but the combination of those three basically just made that we're just chopping sideways here. Volatility in the Qs, we look at that. Again, volatility in the Qs was up slightly as well, but certainly nothing to be concerned or alarmed about. If we look at IWM, as I had mentioned in IWM, let me zoom out just a little bit here. As I had mentioned previously, I view this as a large cup, and now we're building this handle out here. And so I think we're just going to largely chop sideways in a range there on IWM for a bit. And then at some point, I think we're likely to see it break to the upside. More often than not, that's what happens with those cup and handle patterns. And we see the same thing here we had some up volume days when we sold off. Again, minor concern there that volume picks up on the down days, but certainly nothing dramatic or massive. And we've had similar strong up days too, so they are balancing each other out. And of course, as we go into the end of the year, at least in recent years, there has been what has been deemed the Santa Claus rally, or the rally going into the end of the year. So that's kind of I guess you would call it an annual theme in recent years that is likely to play out here again this year as well. If we look at volatility on IWM, same story there. Volatility is pretty low, pretty muted. And then the last symbol to look at here is GLD, or gold. And again, I had called a strong outlook on gold back here. It rallied significantly. Again, we're seeing that pullback. I'm expecting probably just a chop sideways for a little bit in gold, and then probably a resumption back to the upside for more power coming into the gold market as well. So that's a quick overview or a quick summary of our markets as I see them right here, right now. As far as a trade concept or a trade idea, I might look at like maybe a condor configuration or something on gold in a certain range. And I would say IWM, possibly the same thing. There could be some sort of a condor or something along those lines, maybe set up in IWM as well. So if I were personally looking for trading ideas, those might be some of the things that would come to mind. I would strongly urge any trading ideas be done in paper. This is all about learning. This is all about setting up trades, seeing how they play out, seeing how you react to them if the market goes in your favor and or against you. So with that, thanks so much, everyone, for stopping by. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next weekend update. I'm sure I'll have some additional content for you in the meantime as well. Take care.